Within every student, a story can be told in moments that bring both pain and glory. These are their lives, their voices, their student stories.
Welcome to Kappa Kappa Gamma, where Emily Brown lives as a member of the sorority.
Here, she served as External Affairs Chair and Apparel Chair, but her involvement on campus doesn't stop there. In fact, it doesn't even start there.
Emily established herself as an entrepreneur before college, when she started her clothing brand. But more on that later. The first question we wanted answered was, why Purdue?
I've been a Purdue girl all my life. My parents actually met at Purdue, so I've always been a Purdue fan. My dad coached Purdue football for a few years, so I've just always kind of been here, been in West Lafayette for forever. The reason I came to Purdue actually is kind of interesting. I never wanted to go to Purdue. I really wanted to go to school out of state, but eventually I ended up, long story short, starting my store, and I just realized that it was really not practical for me to go to school out of state because it was finally getting off the ground and we were making a bunch of progress, and so I realized I really needed to come to Purdue. And I honestly thought I was going to go into the business school, didn't necessarily know what major I wanted to go into, but I just assumed I was just going to do Cranner. But I had gotten so many recommendations from my parents' friends to just kind of check out organizational leadership. I've definitely learned so many different things that I can apply to my store, and now I'm so glad I came to Purdue and obviously wouldn't change that at all.
Emily came to Purdue because she knew her brand needed to be maintained, and Purdue offered a first-class education close to home.
But that wasn't the only passion she pursued when beginning her journey.
Freshman year was definitely a very interesting one because even though I was from West Lafayette, it was like a completely new world. During this time, I was actually trying to get my private pilot's license through Purdue Aviation, which they're awesome, amazing. I got it last year. I think it was last December. The reason I initially wanted to get my private pilot's license was my dad's college roommate. He would always fly in with his family for just a random Purdue game, and I was like, this is so awesome. So I really dug into the aviation program here. I would do about 3 lessons each week and just keep studying and flying, and you have to do, I mean, obviously a lot of hands-on, just having to figure all of that out, but it's awesome.
When Emily settled into college life, she wanted an outlet where she could build a community.
And she found that through her sorority and the various other clubs she joined.
But also my freshman year, I joined Kappa Kappa Gamma, my sorority, and I absolutely love it. I was the apparel chair for them, and then I was also on their external affairs committee as well. So it was really fun also having like some different leadership roles in there as well, and obviously my love for fashion. I would say something within doing the whole apparel chair is my organization skills have definitely gone through the roof. It was very interesting having to work with these different designers because also doing the apparel chair, it's a completely different world than what I'm doing right now, and I thought that it would be pretty similar, but again, it's a lot of that, you know, live and learn, that hands-on experience. So I learned again a lot about working with people, and then a lot of more so on that organizational side of things, and so it definitely was just an interesting experience, but also awesome to be able to apply that to this as well, and also apply what I already know to that world too. Sophomore year, I joined the Women in Sales Club, and then I also was in the Women in Aviation Club as well, and those are both super fun, and I've definitely learned a ton from both of those as well, and I'm still in those today.
She led a pretty involved life going into her sophomore year, but I think it's time to stop beating around the bush, huh?
Definitely, because I know you're all sitting there asking the million-dollar question, what's the deal with her store?
So we want to turn back the clock and dive into how Marin Made came to be.
Marin is me, but it's my middle name. Marin is a combination of various grandmas and aunts' names who are all great with fashion as well. So Marin Made comes from my middle name, and then Made just had a nice ring to it. So how Marin Made started was I was 16 and it was COVID, so my school was completely online. I was just not really doing much, but my dad, he had always instilled in me that I constantly need to be doing something. Like after school, I had to do something from 4 to 7. Like that was like the household rule. We had to always do something. He has his own company. He does personality profiling assessments on athletes. And so that's kind of where I got the entrepreneurial side of things. And I didn't necessarily always want to start a store, but I knew I wanted to have something of my own. I saw a video of some girl who had started an online boutique, and I was like, this is really interesting. I'm going to dig into this and try and figure out everything possible. And I was a little nervous just because, again, I'm 16 here, and I took all of my money, like literally everything that I had saved up, and because I just was doing random jobs. I was working at a country club, babysitting, dog walking, any weird little job, like I was doing it just to try to hustle and make some money. But again, took all my money, invested everything into the store, took a huge risk. We had that store for about a year, completely online out of a little coat closet in my basement, and it was fun. I really enjoyed doing it. I really dedicated all of my time to it. I had like certain time. I had a really nice schedule. It was like school, Marin and then I ran track in high school as well. So I would go to track practice. I was like, how do I kind of want to take this to the next step? So I started looking into online marketing, and I tried every online marketing platform possible, Google ads, all the above, all these different platforms. But then I really just started posting consistently on social media and making intriguing videos and trying to work with influencers as well, just to kind of get the name out there. And that was really what hit it off. So within that first year, I was able to grow to 20,000 customers within just using free online marketing, like via myself, and just learning different things. So that was definitely one of the really big milestones, and that was so awesome. Once people from Australia started buying, that's when I was like, oh my gosh. And so now we have sold in all 50 states and then 6 out of the 7 continents. Then I would say my next kind of big milestone on the path was there was a local shop in town on the south side of Lafayette. I rented out a little 10 by 10 space, and it was really fun. It was nice to be able to have a in-person store so people that were local could come and check it out, and it was a super cute spot. But eventually I was like, I would really like to do something like this. I think the concept is really interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. So I had reached out to the owner and kind of seen, what if she was going to continue this, what her path was with this, and she had offered to sell it to me. But I ended up taking that store over. That one was called Marin and More, because it was Marin and then there was more. Open Marin and More. Then I had that for about a year, but I really just wanted to have something of my own. I found it kind of difficult to just be managing all these other smaller boutiques, and it was just not really what I wanted to do, and I wanted to move to a different location as well. So I closed that down, and I was really just trying to figure out what I wanted, and I knew that coming to Keystone and being here at the Fashion Mall in Indianapolis was something that I really wanted to do. And
with an incredible amount of determination and commitment, Emily found herself managing a boutique that would showcase not just her products, but others as well.
But she wanted her own place, a place where her own brand would be on full display.
And the key to that was none other than the Keystone Mall.
Eventually, I think it was mid-January, I had gotten a message about this location that I'm currently in being open, and they wanted me to take over their lease because, fun fact, the location that was in this store before me, they were actually also from Lafayette as well. So they had a location in downtown Lafayette, and that's kind of how we knew each other. So ended up signing this lease in February of 2024. I will say it is definitely amazing. By far the best location that we've been in so far. I love my location that I'm in. I think it's the perfect size, not too small, not too big. And I love the people that come to the store, and I feel like we've made a lot of personal connections with a lot of the individuals that come through here. I'm definitely most proud about where I am today, and then also how much I have grown as an individual throughout this whole process, because I feel like I have become very independent. I was already extremely independent, and now I feel like I don't necessarily need to rely on anybody else to get to where I want to be. But also, again, I need to dial it back sometimes because you do need to work with other people, and I would love to get a bigger team and be able to kind of pass the store around so I don't have to be all in all the time. But again, it's so hard, like letting go. It's like letting your kids leave for college.
As entrepreneurs typically do, Emily has been growing alongside her store since day one.
But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. So we wanted to know what challenges she faced along the way.
Again, working with people has been very interesting, and the hiring process is something that I never really thought that I was going to have to do. Being the age that I was when I was hiring people, I found that as a huge challenge, because sometimes I felt like people kind of looked down on me just because, I was 18 trying to hire people that were 25, and sometimes they don't always, see eye to eye with you. Sometimes it's really hard for me to actually take a break from these things and figure out, when am I having that balance and not always being 100% on work mode all the time. Another challenge that's been kind of interesting to me that I didn't think was like a financial challenge of being organized. I didn't realize how organized you really have to be, and you should always get an accountant just because, the finances, it's just, there's like a lot of different bills that you have to pay, and also it's very different having that in-person store because there's just so many things that I have to purchase that I didn't necessarily have to purchase when I was just online.
Now, with all of the challenges she faced, it came with a ton of lessons.
So, what lessons do you think she learned along the way?
You need to take risks, and that is something that's really hard for people. Honestly, I have taken way too many risks, and some have been very beneficial and some has failed, but I would say taking that big risk to initially start, and then also the risk to keep going as well, because there's obviously been times where I'm just not satisfied with where I am, and that's also another internal problem where I just don't feel satisfied. I feel like I need to keep reaching for more and keep succeeding and keep accomplishing more things, but I also need to realize I'm in a good spot right now, and I'm okay where I am at right now as well. So that's definitely been an interesting lesson to learn too.
Life is all about taking risks. And although there may be uncertainty, Emily proved to us that the rewards are boundless.
And with all of these opportunities presenting themselves, we wanted to know, where does Emily want to go in the future?
I personally like I said, I like to have a lot of different things going on at various times. So I could see myself opening more businesses, doing more things. Do I know what those businesses are going to be? No, but I definitely think that I will, just because I am very entrepreneurial and I love starting things and I love just seeing them progress as well. I would love to open up more locations down the road. I don't know when that's going to be, but I definitely think that it will happen. I just think I'm very content being here right now, and we just signed again for next year, so it's very exciting to get to be here again. And I've learned so much this past year as well, so it's going to be really nice to be able to kind of apply those things and not be as super uneducated in the world of being in like an actual retail mall. Because
Emily is someone whose dedication is nothing short of inspiring.
So finally, we wanted to know what advice she had for you all.
I would say my biggest thing is not giving up. It's really big to just be dedicated to you and be dedicated to the things that you want to do as well, and always put in that time and dedication. But something that I've really learned is that everything genuinely will work out in time. And it's a very hard concept to grasp because it's just so difficult. But I mean, you also have to put in that work as well to get to where you want to go. So I would just say, if you're confused, if you're not really sure the direction you want to take, that it really will all work out, but also you need to have that drive and dedication to get to where you want to be as well.
It's a powerful idea, but it's true. Understand that everything is going to work out in time, but the effort is necessary to getting there.
See, Emily's story is a testament to anyone that wants to build something of their own, to which we say, if you have the passion, nothing can stand in your way.
Thanks for joining us and telling this student story, and we hope to see you next time when you're one step closer to creating your own.